If you're asking me, I haven't eaten for almost 14 hours. So we started at 4:50 a.m. in the morning. And from 4:50 a.m., we won't drink any water, we won't drink any food. Because of Ramadan, I know how to be fearful. And fearful in a sense of not fearful like in a bad way, but in a good way where I'm scared of, committing sins, doing sins. I just want to tell everyone part of the world is that Islam is not what you think it is.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Ramadan is basically where we fast, such as not drinking water, not eating food, and, you know, being restraining our carnal desires, such as a lot of things like lying. So we're prohibiting all those kind of things. We fast, and what we're doing here, this is what we call iftar. And iftar is where we break our fast. So all of the Muslims present here is that they haven't eaten, they haven't drink any water, and hopefully they haven't seen today the masjid. We have sponsors over there. They're unknowns. They won't be telling their name, and they'll be feeding food to everyone. It can be like to Christians or like non-Muslims, to anyone who's hungry right now. But currently, we're doing this for those people who's fasting right now. So such as like me, such as I'm fasting right now. And at 6 p.m. when the sun sets, we're gonna eat. Inshallah. If you're asking me, I haven't eaten for almost 14 hours. So we started at 4:50 a.m. in the morning. And from 4:50 a.m., we won't drink any water, we won't drink any food. We'll be fasting all throughout the day until 5:58 p.m. or basically when sunrise, from sunrise to sunset, dawn to dusk. That's how fasting works. But in other countries, it might work differently since they have different climate, they have different, uh, you know, different parts of the world. So it will be different when it comes in time zones. Kids such as this young, they're not obligated to fast since uh, the only requirements you need to have when fasting is that if you have enough conscious, such as like if you're fully aware of things, meaning if you're mature perhaps or what they call, and aside from that, if you hit your puberty, and that's the time where you can fast or like required to fast. But for these kids over here, there's so little. They are not obligated to fast. Also, those old people, they're not obligated to fast if they cannot do it anymore. And also those people who are sick, who has a like such as chronic illness such as cancer or like any illnesses that makes them unable to fast, they're not obligated to fast or whatsoever. Only those people who is strong enough, like for example, kids, teenagers, we don't have any like disease or anything like that where we need to fast because it's obligated in our religion, not unless if we have a good valid reason. My experience as a Muslim, since I was a born Muslim, we grew up in a family of 9. So I have 8 siblings and I have, my parents. We grow up celebrating Ramadan every year, and I don't need to fast when I was still young. But today, I have realized a lot of things, and the one thing changed about me is that because of Ramadan, I know how to be fearful, and fearful in a sense of not fearful like in a bad way, but in a good way where I'm scared of committing sins, doing sins, and just be kind to everyone, respect everyone, because that's what our religion teaches us to do. Is that self-restraint, self-control, self-awareness, anything that anything anything beautiful, basically any good thing that you could think of. I found that in our religion. Just like me, I'm also a sinner. I'm also a human. I commit sins. Even I am before I don't fast. Yes. What happened? I was young at that time. So like, I'm ignorance. I just want to tell those people, I just want to tell everyone part of the world is that Islam is not what you think it is. And if you want to learn about it, don't go for those false narrative it's where you could hear that Islam is like this, Islam is like that, Islam is a bad thing. And those people who wrote those kind of things, they're not a Muslim. So if you want to learn it yourself, you need to come, or you need to look for the answer yourself. Don't look for other, like, other narrative from other different people. It's very, unethical. I grew up not so religious, and you know, but suddenly it's just that I feel like I have a lot of sins, and as someone who believes in God, I go back to God and I ask them. So like, eventually I realized that doing this kind of thing, everything is for the sake of God. Everything is for the sake of Allah. All the good deeds are, it's for the sake of God, basically. And for example, me doing this interview right now, I'm doing this for the sake of God, in order for you guys to know what Islam is, or from my mom. And I'm not very knowledgeable, unfortunately, but yeah, Alhamdulillah.